Will the Bengals go to Baltimore, get a win, and improve to 6-4 on the season on a short week? Let's get to our keys to victory and a prediction for Thursday night football. Hi again, everyone, and welcome into Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapien of allbengals.com. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. Make sure you check out the best of what Joe Burrow had to say on Tuesday, plus Jermaine Pratt, and get ready because this Bengals team, they're headed to Baltimore right now. Yes, on Wednesday for a Thursday night primetime matchup against Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. And we are going to have you covered right here on CBT with our game day report, our instant reaction post game. And this is a must win game. No, not if the Bengals want to make the playoffs. But if the Bengals want to win the division and win the AFC North and be the first team in AFC North history to win the division, not one, not two, but 3 times in a row, well, they have to win on Thursday night. Joe Burrow knows it. Jamar Chase knows it. Zach Taylor knows it. The Bengals know it. And so do the Ravens. And I'm sure there's nothing they would like more than to really give the death blow, so to speak, to the Cincinnati Bengals after back-to-back division titles here in Cincinnati. So how do the Bengals get over the hump? How do they rebound? How do they beat a Ravens team that I don't want to say has had their number, but has certainly slowed them down offensively over the past 2 years now? I will count this year. Last year, 3 matchups, 1 matchup this year. It starts, and my first key to victory is actually going to start defensively. And it's a team-based thing, but it hedges towards defense. And this Ravens team, we've talked a lot about fast starts for the Bengals. The Ravens are the kings of fast starts. They're averaging nearly, what is it, 8 points per game. I just wanted to make sure I had the number right. 9 points per game at home, but 8 points per game in the first quarter this season. And what does that mean? That means that they're jumping out on opponents and they're getting out the early leads. Last week, they scored 17 first quarter points. And we know how the Bengals have played when they get down early. That's why my keys every other week. And I know some of you make fun of it, but the Bengals love playing with a lead and they look like a different team and they're comfortable that way. So to me, it isn't about the Bengals necessarily getting off to a quick start. Obviously, you would want that. But key number one, don't let the Ravens jump on you. Don't let Lamar Jackson in this rushing attack go off or Lamar Jackson and his arm go off. And that's the difficult part about this Baltimore team. Not only can they run it, but they certainly can throw it with Mark Andrews, Zay Flowers as a weapon. Odell Beckham Jr. has had touchdowns in back-to-back weeks. They have weapons now. This is not the same Ravens team that it was a couple of years ago or even last season. And really talented. And you want to get off to a good start against them so they're not playing with a lead and able to lean on that running game because it's a tough one. And there's number 2. The Bengals gave up 188 yards rushing to the Houston Texans on Sunday. This Baltimore team makes that Texans rushing attack look like a peewee rushing attack. It looks like it's a 5th grade rushing attack in Houston when you look at Lamar Jackson and Keaton Mitchell and Gus Edwards and all of the guys in there. Dax Hill's brother. Oh, is that a shot? The point is they're a really good running attack, and you got to slow them down. And Keaton Mitchell, I talked to a few Bengals defenders about him, and they're like, "Oh yeah, 34, man, he is electric," and he is. And he's going into essentially his 3rd game of where he's out there putting good film out there, but he's been really, really explosive. He's an undrafted rookie from ECU. And gives them a little extra pop. So that's just another guy to pay attention to when it comes to this defense and stopping the run. That is key number 2, slowing it down, not letting them establish that. Because if they establish that, it is going to be tough, tough, tough. And we'll see health-wise. This is a game that you would love to have Sam Hubbard. Highly unlikely as I record this. Trey Hendrickson did practice on Tuesday. I think there's at least a shot. We'll see. I don't think Sam Hubbard, I don't expect him. It doesn't feel like he's close. I don't think T. Higgins is close. So don't respond to this if there's official updates by the time you see this. But the point is that's where I kind of stand. I'm a little more optimistic about Trey than the other two. Don't feel good about any of the three. Andre Yosavash, don't feel great either, but he is young. You never know. Short week. It's really, really tough. And with that said, key number three, it's Joe Burrow time. And this is time for Joe Burrow to get in the phone booth, put on his cape, and show that he is one of the best quarterbacks on the planet, if not the best quarterback on the planet. And I know some are going to say, oh, well, he can't show that he's better than Patrick Mahomes. Well, the path to doing that is going on the road, backs against the wall, no T. Higgins. This defense is reeling, and you handle business against Lamar Jackson and company. And that is what it's going to take. It's going to take a Herculean effort, a Superman-like effort, a insert whatever superhero reference you want to. It probably fits if it results in the hero winning. And that's what it's going to take. An Iron Man-like effort. If I had to guess the superhero that Joe Burrow would be, it's probably the one, right? Maybe Iron Man. It feels pretty fair. I don't think he's Spider-Man, even though Spider-Man's my favorite. So that said, that's number three. Joe Burrow's got to have an amazing game, his best game of the year. On Thursday night when I'm joining you right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk, I need to be saying, man, that was Joe Burrow's best game of the year. And that's the crazy thing is that and the reason it's key number three, not key number one, if the Bengals don't remotely get close to keys 1 and 2, I don't think 3 is going to get them a win. It certainly doesn't guarantee them a win. They need other things to go their way because this Ravens team is really good and the Bengals are really good. And I'm not saying they don't have a chance to win. I think that it's going to be a really tough uphill battle. Final key, and this one is the one that really it needs to happen. We'll see if it happens. It flashed against the Texans, but it needs to be all in now. And it starts with Ja'Marr Chase. You need Ja'Marr Chase to be the best player on the field, not named Joe Burrow. And you need him to get a ton of targets. You certainly hope health-wise he's ready to go. He was wearing the LeBron Fruity Pebbles cleats, that were sent to him. Those were sweet. Hopefully that helps heal that back up a little bit and he can go, because this is a game where you may need to give him 20 targets. And I'm not even like, I think that's kind of realistic, where you're really going to have to work and say, hey, Ja'Marr, you're going to have to just be the focal point and be the oxygen that keeps our offense going. And the reason being is this team needs to find a way to avoid those lulls. And that's key number 4, avoiding the lulls on offense. And I think that starts with Ja'Marr Chase. But it's not just Ja'Marr. Charlie Jones, I expect him to be activated. Maybe he is by the time you see this video. Again, don't react. I think it is likely. Maybe it's not. Maybe that doesn't happen, but I think it will be. And so Charlie Jones, does he make a play? Can Tanner Hudson continue to improve and maybe make a big play? You're going to need some of these role players to make plays as well. Obviously, Tyler Boyd, we haven't seen him. I haven't seen him since Sunday. I can't remember if anyone else has seen him. I'm not sure if he's been in the locker room when the media has been in the locker room. You need him to bounce back. You need all of these guys to step up. With no T. Higgins, you can see how quickly, how flawed this offense feels, how shallow the depth feels with no Charlie Jones. And then Yosavash got hurt the other day. It just felt tough. And so that's a way to solve it, certainly, is finding a way to keep this offense on track, ahead of schedule. And it's much, much easier said than done. The Ravens defense has had their number. So we'll see if they can get it done. My prediction is coming up next. But today's video is brought to you by MyBookie. If you found a $100 bill on the ground, would you walk past it? No, you wouldn't walk past it. So why are you passing up on cashing winners every single weekend? You can do that with MyBookie. They have the biggest online selection of odds and contests to fill your sports betting needs anytime, anywhere. And obviously, Thursday night football. Are you kidding? Get in on all the action. Joe Burrow props, Bengals props. Maybe you like the Bengals money line. Maybe you like the Bengals plus 3.5. You can get that right now at MyBookie. And sign up at mybookie.ag with promo code BengalsTalk. That's right, promo code BengalsTalk to claim your deposit match. Redeemable up to $1,000. Again, promo code BengalsTalk to claim your bonus Experience the thrill of sports betting right from the comfort of your own home with MyBookie and promo code Bengals Talk. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. It's Thursday night football. The odds are stacked against the Bengals. I think most logical people are picking the Ravens. And both teams are dealing with injuries. I think the Bengals are a little more banged up. And any time you're talking about a pass-heavy offense without its second best option, that's really, really tough. And that's what they're facing right now with T. Higgins dealing with the hamstring. This is going to be a tight game. This is also a game where I look around and I say, and Mo Egger put this in my head, and I would have came to this conclusion because usually I do anytime you doubt the Bengals, anytime there's doubt, it's like, oh, well, is Joe Burrow out there? Is Jamar Chase out there? They'll figure it out. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. Doubt Joe and Jamar at your own risk. They know how important this game is. They know it's a gotta have it game. They need to bounce back. They're on the road. Their backs are against the wall. The Ravens lost the game that they should have won against Cleveland at home. And yet I'm picking the Bengals. Stack deck, all of those things. You're hurting on defense. I just think Joe Burrow is going to go out there and play the best game we've seen him play, maybe as a professional player. And part of it has to do with the fact that he was so frustrated after that Texans game. And I know as I record this, he's still dealing with some soreness from that Texans game. And on a short week, a lot of these guys on both teams are dealing with soreness. So I'm not trying to make people feel sorry for him. But my point is that dude is different. Jamar Chase, I know, was probably a bit frustrated after the fact, only getting 6 targets and being limited by that back. You win on Thursday, then you have the mini bye to recover and to get ready for the final stretch of this season. And getting to 6-4 breathes new life into a team that was rolling before Sunday against the Texans. And now 4 days later, I'm going to completely dismiss their chances of going into Baltimore and winning. I'm not doing that. I think they can win. I understand why the Ravens are favored on MyBookie, promo code Bengals Talk. I'm going to go, though, with the Cincinnati Bengals in a tight one, in a high-scoring affair, and one in which Joe Burrow is just magnificent and Lou Anarumo cooks up just the right magic elixir to keep Lamar Jackson in check, just enough. The Bengals handle business 31-27. They get out of Baltimore with a victory, and they look up and they see 6-4, their first AFC North win. And not only do they live to fight another day, but they keep their division hopes very, very much alive following Thursday night. We will have a game day report for you right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. You'll have the latest injury updates, final pregame thoughts, and much, much more. If you're looking for more on the Bengals, we have you covered at allbengals.com. And, of course, Enter the Jungle. You see that? You see Enter the Jungle? Get that book, CincinnatiBengalsBook.com. Shout out to Rivertown Inquiry, as always. And for Andrew Fox Miller, our channel coordinator, I'm James Rapien. We will see you on game day right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk.